Hello, everybody. I am Nick, and welcome to this week's episode of Rewatch. We are covering episode 4, Forces of Nature. Joining me is Beast Boy X Starfire shipper Jared.
Flame on!
That makes no sense, but okay.
It does in this episode. I'll explain later.
Yeah, so we're covering the episode Forces of Nature, which is the 4th episode in both broadcast and episode list order. So now the craziness is gone. We are in sync. We can move forward without any confusion.
Good. Why does Bruce Timm have to complicate things?
You're the executive producer on this series, so your quote is not entirely wrong. But anyway, so basically, we've got the Sonic, we've got the Boom, but in a different kind of context. We basically got Thunder and Lightning characters, and that's kind of the central conflict. So Jared, what were kind of your initial thoughts on this episode?
So fun. I like this episode a lot, particularly like the message of using your powers responsibly. My one critique is that Thunder and Lightning are very similar in terms of powers.
I would disagree, actually, because Lightning was just your standard electricity, but the Thunder was more of like Sonic Boom, more of a sound shockwave, more of a concussive force. You see, you have to have a very high IQ to watch Teen Titans,
or you just have to have a very old brain.
Gosh, I want to flip you the bird right now, but I can't. All right, Jared, I'm censoring myself.
Yeah, there you go. That works.
Oh, but anyway. So yeah, I did like how the Thunder portion, like they were actually trying to reason with him a little bit receptive, but kind of like going back to the beginning of the episode. So he's trying to play a prank on Cyborg, and he hits Starfire. I like how this is kind of like a B plot. Like, what did you think of that whole?
I like that whole thing where he's like, no, and he's like rushing after it, and you see Starfire. He's like, ee! Then it hits her in the head. And I like the whole thing because it's kind of funny. Beast Boy kind of goes in the same journey that Thunder does in the episode. It's just to a smaller degree.
Yeah, I'm really glad they gave Starfire more to do because, like, I really feel like watching this enough. I really feel like it's really easy for Starfire to fall into the background because, like, she's an interesting enough character, but like, there's so many like really interesting characters. Like Raven is like the dark and mysterious. Cyborg is just, loud and has all this like cybernetic stuff. Robin is Robin. Starfire and to a certain extent Beast Boy, they tend to get pushed to the background a lot. So I really like how they got pushed to the forefront and they gave Starfire more to do. But yeah, it was a really interesting little mini arc for them.
I like that.
But yeah, so yeah, they're kind of rampaging, and then this mysterious karate master comes out. Like, what did you think when that happened?
Sounds suspiciously like Deathstroke. I was wondering about that, and I was like,
Deathstroke.
I knew it immediately. I was like, yeah, that's Slade because he has the same voice actor in this show. I'm like, that's a Deathstroke in disguise. A cool.
I do like that they made it very clear he's using tech to make it look like all those mysterious stuff is very obviously tech. Like they pretty much like telegraphed it right away. I did appreciate that.
And plus that's within Slade's capabilities and even the comics to do that. So it's not like all of a sudden he has all these skills.
Yeah, they kind of made it like an old karate master. But I really enjoyed it.
Wait, so you could say Thunder and Lightning become the Karate Kids?
Please don't tell me that I'm going to have to title the episode, Does Beast Boy Paint the Fence?
Slade becomes Mr. Miyagi. That's it. That's how this links. Remember our Teen Titans universe? Mr. Miyagi was Deathstroke the whole time, and he didn't really die. He just left to go do mercenary stuff.
God dang it! Now I'm gonna have to like find a scene with a Robin and this guy, and have the guy says, "Daniel-san, paint the fence.
Yes.
Wax on, wax off." Like, oh my god, I hate
can't
you
be
so
the only
much.
one that saw this. Again, witness protection program is a wonderful thing in our universe.
This is why Superman works alone.
What does Superman have to do with a Batman villain?
Jared, just don't forget.
Weapons are part of my religion.
Yeah, so is prune juice.
So yeah, I like how like they kind of set up the training dummy thing. It was a bit of a ritual to summon this like flame monster, and it was gonna destroy the city, and that's kind of what woke them up.
So you're saying Slade summoned the Human Torch? That's my flame on or weapon. Yeah, so you use this thing where Anakin becomes the Human Torch. He was what? He was cosplaying as the Human Torch.
What?
So this is Jared right now.
You didn't see that coming?
So yeah, finally they kind of get them to see the error of their ways, and they do something really interesting where they actually go into the sky and they make it rain.
He's playing the drums as they're like creating rain. I'm like, that's actually really cool. I like how they did that.
Yeah, and then basically they have like
Wait,
the final battle.
You could say they rain bend.
So I'll be doing the rest of this episode myself because Jared is being kicked out on the account of
It's better than blood bending.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I have my finger on the button, brother. You're on thin ice.
Yeah, I understood.
Okay, good. So yeah, I actually was really surprised when like the face cracked and it revealed the mask. Like, I actually thought he was using his face.
So wait, so Slade is wearing a mask on top of his mask? He's method acting.
What?
Because you know what they do now. So Jason has the helmet, but he wears a domino mask under that, so he has a mask under his mask.
Whoa.
Yeah, so I'm like, this is getting a little lazy, DC.
So I guess you could say it's maskception.
I guess so. Yes, that is maskception.
But yeah, I'm actually really enjoying how they're like inch by inch by inch, kind of like developing the Slade plot further.
I was about to say that. This is what the show is doing great so far. They're establishing Slade as a threat. Because what they're establishing here is that Slade is like, first off, they're establishing, like I just said, the threat of Slade, and that he's like manipulating things around them. He fights Robin for the first time in this episode, and he kind of like shocks Robin because he's like, oh my gosh, it's you, Slade. But the thing about it is that they're giving him the buildup that a character like Deathstroke deserves. Because for those of you that don't know, Deathstroke is one of the most dangerous DC characters ever. For context, do you know how he beat the Justice League by himself?
How?
So he had studied them for so long. So he studied the Flash's attack pattern and knew exactly what angle Flash was going to run at him. So he just held his sword out like this, and the Flash ran into his sword.
Ow.
And he goes, you're so predictable. And the way he beat Superman, he just threw green rocks at him because he knew Superman would think it's kryptonite.
Yeah. So I actually have footage of Slade when those other people, when like the people he was manipulating, when they turned against him. I have behind the scenes footage.
It was at this moment that he knew. He f***ed up.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the Flash as he's about to impact with the sword.
Yeah, pretty much. So Jared, what would you give this episode?
Solid 10 out of 10. I love this episode. It's cool. I like the two arcs coming in, how like Beast Boy is more of a mature adult in this episode. So it's showing there are multiple facets of the character. And I like the dynamic with Starfire because I agree with you. It's nice seeing those two characters get more attention.
Yeah, for sure. I give this a 9 out of 10. It's definitely a very, very solid episode. Nothing too earth shattering or whatever, but just a good episode, and I'm enjoying the build up. So yeah. So Jared, thank you for joining us, and everyone else. What did you guys think of the episode? Do you like the build up? Is this your favorite episode? Is this your worst favorite episode? Is the Wonder Bat the best ship ever? Please let it comment.
The answer is no.
Yeah.
By the way, can I say this one thing on stream? I came up with a new ship. You know who Maxima is? So when Britt and I were recording Super Wonder Legacy, we were basically talking about how like Maxima is what the Wonder Bat fans think Diana is. So I said, oh, so essentially what they really want is Maxibat.
All right, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Jared is no longer a part of this series. It's just going to be me, and you'll be having another person next week because Jared has officially been fired from Rewatch. I'm Nick, and remember, I can only show you the door. You're the